Welcome to Fake Fighting Frenzy, the only show that keeps you on your toes like a little ballerina. Never know when it's gonna start. That's right.
I think ballerinas know when ballet is gonna start, Steven.
No, I'm imagining a world where
everyone is
where you're just walking around and then a ballerina might appear in front of you and start doing spin. You have to dodge a flying leg.
That's a world I want to live in.
That's also, I want to live in the type of world where CM Punk shows up out of nowhere and says, "This is your host, Steven." With me, as always, is my not host,
D-Rock. Also a world heavyweight champion, by the way.
FYI.
Just in case you...
in case you didn't read about it in the papers.
Yeah.
Even though Randy Orton technically is half a heavyweight champion.
He's like...
as he holds two belts.
Twice a heavyweight champion.
He's a champion plus a champion.
He's a double heavyweight champion.
He's a champion cubed.
He's a champion
squared.
of champions.
Squared. Champion squared.
Champion.
I'm going to correct my math.
Champion to the second power.
So we did a pre-Wrestlemania podcast, and then something magical happened.
Well, magical is, I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah.
But Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk,
Chicago made,
has been sighted in New Orleans, host city of WrestleMania 30.
And there's been a couple of a couple of guys have come out and said that they think that CM Punk's going to show up, including Stone Cold. So
yeah, in his Big Boy podcast, Stone Cold Steve Austin said he predicted. He didn't say for sure. But the question is, if CM Punk does return,
right? There's
so many matches that are connected to CM Punk.
No.
How will CM Punk return?
If he appears, there's only one match for him to.
Oh, but I must rebut that.
Really?
If you remember, now what's the match you're thinking of that he's obviously needs to be a part of? The championship match.
The main event.
The championship
or the
match.
Daniel Bryan Triple H match.
Or the Daniel Bryan Triple H match. I say, at the Royal Rumble, he was tossed out by Kane. And what if he goes and he saves the Shield?
No.
Yeah, CM Punk saving the Hounds of Justice.
That would be lame. But he was the one that was gonna be in the Triple H.
It would be lame,
the Authorities storyline if he hadn't left. I think they're gonna pick it up there. I think he's gonna. He wasn't gonna be
He wasn't gonna be in the Authority storyline. He was gonna be in a Kane storyline.
No, Kane was the beginning of the Authority storyline. That's how it started with Daniel Bryan too. He feuded with Kane for a little bit and then moved on to Triple H. And Kane is the one that cost him the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
So it was totally gonna be. He was gonna at Elimination Chamber. Punk was probably gonna be in Elimination Chamber, and Kane was gonna cost him the match, and then Daniel Bryan would have just gone on and won the championship.
No, it was never gonna be that easy.
We're
dealing in hypotheticals here.
I'm telling you, Daniel Bryan is
You're saying concrete hypotheticals.
Daniel Bryan is wrestling two storylines right now. His own and CM Punk's. That's what I'm saying.
That's how good he is. He can rock two storylines at once.
Exactly. That's exactly how good he is.
So they've basically taken all the creative talent they had and funneled it from both CM Punk and Daniel Bryan to simply Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, yeah. That's why, I don't think that there's too much of a lot of things for me to believe that CM Punk is just going to magically show up again. Because it seems like, in a lot of ways, they're, sticking it to Punk.
Ooh! Derailed by talking.
Oh, yeah, I went off a little bit there.
CM Punk is the voice of the voiceless. If he comes out in the Triple H Daniel Bryan match, costs Triple H the match, gets Daniel Bryan into the championship bout, then that'll position CM Punk to be like a Stone Cold type coming in and out. while at the same time keeping Daniel Bryan babyface. You
like,
have the possibility of having two possible Stone Colds on your hands.
There's so many possibilities for him. Like, he could... I could see a situation where he comes in during the Triple H Daniel Bryan match and attacks Daniel Bryan, gets Triple H disqualified, gets Daniel Bryan in a title match, and then, like, grabs him and fucking tells him, you know, after he attacks him, just grab him and be like, you know, I'm the next in line or whatever. More creative
I'm
than
next
that,
in line
obviously.
out of John Cena.
Yeah, right.
After John Cena.
Or a lot of people think that he's gonna come back as like corporate Punk and cost Daniel Bryan the title. Yeah.
No. It took him a month of It took him like 2 months of brainwashing to sell out and become corporate Punk.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so many different things that he could do when he comes back. If he comes back, I don't think he's gonna come back.
It would be amazing.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It would be cool if Triple H decided, after his match got effed with by Daniel Bryan, if Stephanie comes out and she's like, CM Punk, you're in the main event at WrestleMania now. Fatal 4-way. You and Daniel Bryan versus Orton and Batista. And then we get another promo later with like Stephanie and Triple H telling Orton and Batista they got to get it done tonight.
Yeah.
And one of them better come out the champion. And then just imagine pulling the heat immediately and just surprise shocking everyone, CM Punk in the main event.
They wouldn't do that, though. They wouldn't just shovel him in there. Like, after he screwed them over so badly for the last 2 months, he's gonna, I mean...
But if it was all a work, if this is a work, then that means it was a work then, and they just... He didn't actually shovel them anything. He didn't screw them over. If he shows up, he didn't screw them over.
If this was a work, like, I don't know. If they end up spinning it like if it was a work the whole time, like, I won't believe it. I think at a certain point maybe it became a work, but I think for a while there he just was like, peace, I'm out.
I saw his appearance on The Talking Dead.
Yeah. And
man, it's so he doesn't turn into CM Punk at all.
Oh, really?
He stays Phil Brooks the entire time.
Is Phil Brooks boring?
No, he's not boring. He's just regular.
He's regular, yeah.
He's just like has the same opinions on The Walking Dead that everyone else does. Like,
yeah.
He's not like, if I was in the zombie apocalypse, I would get a 2x4.
I don't see a lot of people disagreeing about opinions on The Walking Dead. I think everyone pretty much has the same opinions of everything on The Walking Dead.
There's only so many opinions you can have about zombies eating people.
Yeah.
And then people doing horrible things to each other.
So what else? What else were we going to talk about?
Orton and Batista, boring.
Orton and Batista, I mean...
Boring without Bryan.
The only thing I can say about Orton and Batista is, like... Every time Triple H and Stephanie go out to the ring and do, like, amazing work as heels, they just come out and, like, shit all over it. They just, like, kill all of the energy in the building for being so bad. And Orton's not that bad. Orton is decent. And I will always love him for laughing his ass off so hard when Stephanie slapped Batista. That was so hilarious. But yeah, Batista is just horrible. I don't know how they're gonna plan their next like couple of months
around Batista.
Yeah, I mean, because the whole reason he came back, or so people say. I don't know if this is absolutely true or not. But people say the whole reason he came back was to, pick up the championship at WrestleMania and use it to promote the Guardians of the Galaxy and be able to have WWE champion next to his name every time they mention him in, like, E! Magazine or whatever. So, I gotta think that, like, probably, like, at Extreme Rules, he'll just win it back by some... horrible screw job.
Some very extreme screw job.
Yeah, of course. It'll be some kind of, no holds barred match, and everyone and their mother will interfere in it. And
it would be... I liked the idea of Batista coming back before he came back, but the execution of it...
He's horrible.
...is just so piss poor.
He's horrible. He's just so bad that people hate him. He
manages to have a memorable, horrible moment every week, and not in a good, he's a heel way. And
it was, immediate, too. When he came back on Raw, people were excited. They got the highest ratings of the year, I think. Well, of the year. Well, they got the highest ratings in, a while out of that Raw. And then, the Pittsburgh Royal Rumble crowd, I don't know how well they responded to him at first, but, after 5 minutes in the ring, you could tell that he was just not in shape at all, and he was just hanging on the ropes the whole time, fucking gassed out of his mind. And when he won, it was the reaction was so fast. They were shitting all over it, just right off the bat. And from there, he never recovered from that. It's almost I wonder if the Royal Rumble had been in Des Moines, Iowa, or some podunk, place where people don't really have opinions about wrestling, if it would have been so bad, if he would have ended up heel like this. But I guess, it's hard to say if a crowd started something and then if it would have been different if they hadn't done it, you never know with that. Because sometimes the people just hook onto something. And Ziggler winning the championship, everyone suddenly decided that they wanted Ziggler to do things. And then kind of lost interest after a couple months.
You can't fight the idea once it's been planted in everyone's head. So we wrap up this week. So we wrap up this week as we started this week. Not on a Monday, but on a Friday, because the weekday should start on a Friday and then end again on Friday, and making an 8-day week. That math makes sense in my head. I'm Steven.
I'm D-Rock.
And don't forget that mathematics is actually really important in your life. And the longer you take to do it, the more it's going to bite you in the ass.
That's true.
Just learn your math, kids.
Oh, it's true.
Fuck your vitamins. Learn your maths. Your sciences. Wisdom for the children.
Exactly.